Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt that your whole life could shift? Not in a year, not in a month, but in a single moment, simply because you finally thought differently. Have you ever felt that one powerful thought could push you forward, wake something inside you, or open a door you didn't even know existed? This topic matters because your thoughts are not just ideas floating around. They are the blueprints for the future you are capable of building. When you stay until the end of this episode, you will not only improve your English listening, you will also discover how to shape your life with intention, courage, and clear mental direction. Many people wait for motivation or for the right moment, but real change begins the moment you decide to think differently and take action even when it feels uncomfortable. In the next parts, we will explore how thoughts guide actions, how discipline rewires the brain, and how small steps turn into powerful results. By listening all the way through, you will understand how to build your dream from the inside out, slowly, consistently, and confidently. And if this lesson gave you something useful, I'd love it if you tapped like and subscribe to the channel. It helps you stay connected, and it also helps this little learning community grow. Every click really does make a difference. With love. Let's dive in. Why do your thoughts matter so much? Your thoughts matter because they act like the first design of anything you want to create in your life. Every goal, habit, or dream begins with a simple idea, an image your mind produces long before it becomes real. When you understand this, you stop waiting for luck and begin shaping your future through intentional thinking. Thoughts influence actions, and actions slowly build your identity. When you think with purpose, you also act with purpose. And when you act with purpose, your life begins to shift, even if the progress feels invisible at first. It is important to remember that your thoughts do not need to be perfect or powerful. They simply need to be clear enough to guide your next step. A strong life is not built overnight. It grows from a steady mental direction that you return to again and again, especially on the days when motivation disappears and you feel uncertain. How does action connect your thoughts to your reality? Action is the bridge between the world inside your mind and the world you live in every day. You can imagine a better life, a new skill, or a fresh direction. But without action, those ideas stay locked inside your thoughts. Action gives shape to imagination. It turns hope into progress, even when the steps you take feel slow or imperfect. Many people wait to feel ready. They wait to feel confident. But readiness grows only after you begin, not before. When you take action, you teach your brain that change is possible. You show yourself that effort creates results, even small ones. You learn to trust your ability to start again tomorrow. Over time, these actions build new habits, and those habits slowly build a new reality. This is why even the smallest action matters. It proves to you that you are capable of turning your thoughts into something real. Why shouldn't you wait for motivation? Motivation feels exciting, but it cannot be trusted. It comes and goes based on mood, weather, stress, and energy. If you depend on motivation to move forward, you will make progress only on the easy days. Real growth requires something much stronger. It requires commitment, the decision to do something even when you feel tired, distracted, or unsure. The truth is that the actions you take when you don't feel motivated are the ones that change your life the most. They are the actions that build discipline. They show you that you are not controlled by temporary feelings. Instead, you are controlled by your purpose. When you understand this, you begin to act from intention, not emotion. You start believing in consistency more than inspiration, and slowly, day by day, you become the kind of person who keeps going even when motivation is nowhere to be found. That is where your strength is built. How does discipline protect your goals? Discipline acts like a shield for your dreams. It protects your goals from your emotional ups and downs, from self-doubt, and from the fear of failure. When you build discipline, you no longer depend on good moods or perfect timing. You follow your plan because you know it leads somewhere meaningful. Discipline is not harsh or cold. It is a quiet promise you make to yourself. It says, I am committed to the future I want, even on the days that feel heavy. When you practice discipline, your brain slowly adapts. It begins to expect consistency. It becomes more comfortable with effort and less sensitive to discomfort. Over time, discipline becomes easier than stopping and starting again. It becomes a natural part of who you are. And once discipline becomes your habit, your path becomes clearer and your confidence grows. You begin to trust your ability to finish what you start. Why is discomfort necessary for growth? Discomfort feels unpleasant, but it is a sign that you are stretching beyond your old limits. The brain prefers routine because routine feels safe. But growth requires stepping into challenges that feel new, uncertain, or difficult. This is where rewiring happens, where your brain learns new patterns through repetition and practice. Every time you push through discomfort, even a little, you teach your mind that it is safe to grow. You show yourself that effort will not break you. Instead, it strengthens you. Discomfort is not a warning that you should stop. It is a signal that you are entering the space where change is possible. When you embrace this, you stop seeing discomfort as a problem and begin seeing it as progress. You understand that every strong habit, skill, or mindset was built through moments that felt uncomfortable at first, but became normal with time and consistency. How does clarity help you stay on your path? Clarity gives you direction. Without clarity, your energy becomes scattered, and your actions feel random. When you know exactly what you want and why you want it, your journey becomes easier to follow. Challenges still appear, but they do not push you off your path. Clarity works like a mental compass. It shows you which opportunities to take, which habits to build, and which distractions to ignore. It also helps you make decisions faster because you understand what supports your goals and what pulls you away from them. Many people stay stuck not because they lack ability, but because they lack clarity. When you find your why, your actions become focused. You stop wasting time waiting for perfect conditions. Instead, you move forward with intention. Clarity gives your discipline a purpose, and that purpose keeps you steady even when progress feels slow or uncertain. Why is starting before you feel ready so powerful? Starting before you feel ready breaks the illusion that you need perfect timing or perfect confidence to move forward. The truth is, no one ever feels fully ready. Readiness is something you build through action, not something you wait for. When you begin early, even with small steps, you reduce fear. You show your mind that taking action is safe. You prove to yourself that you can learn as you go. Beginning before you feel prepared also prevents overthinking and perfectionism from blocking your progress. It allows you to make mistakes sooner, which means you grow sooner. It helps you gather experience instead of waiting for it. And most importantly, it turns your dream into something practical, something you can work on today instead of someday. This simple act of beginning early has the power to change your life more than any plan, idea, or intention ever could. How does repetition rebuild the brain? Repetition is the quiet force behind every transformation. Each time you repeat an action, your brain strengthens the neural pathways connected to that behavior. At first, these pathways feel weak, like small trails in a forest. But with repetition, they grow stronger, clearer, and easier to follow. This is how habits are formed. The brain learns through consistency, not intensity. Even small, repeated actions can create powerful, long-term change. When you repeat something often enough, it eventually becomes automatic. You no longer need motivation because the habit becomes part of your identity. Repetition also helps you build confidence. With every repeated action, you prove to yourself that you can show up again, even when you feel tired or distracted. This is how mental rewiring works. It is simple, steady, and dependable. And with time, repetition creates a version of you that is stronger, calmer, and more capable. Why does identity change when you build your dream? Identity changes because every action you take shapes the way you see yourself. When you consistently work toward your dream, you stop identifying with the person who only thinks about change and start identifying with the person who creates it. You become someone who follows through, someone who trusts their ability to grow. This shift does not happen suddenly. It grows slowly through small proofs, through showing up on difficult days, through choosing effort over excuses, and through honoring your own goals. You begin to see yourself as capable, resilient, and disciplined. Your dream is not just something you build outside of yourself. It also builds something inside you. It creates a stronger version of you, a version who understands the connection between thoughts, actions, and long-term results. This new identity becomes your foundation, supporting you as you continue building a life that aligns with your purpose. How do small steps create big change? Small steps create big change because they are sustainable. Big goals often feel exciting, but they can also feel overwhelming. Small steps, however, are simple enough to repeat every day, and with time, repetition creates momentum. Each small step becomes a gentle push that moves you forward, even if the progress is not immediately visible. The power of small steps is that they compound. A little progress each day turns into noticeable growth after weeks and months. These steps are easier to maintain during busy days, stressful moments, or emotional ups and downs. Small steps also reduce fear. They help you focus on what you can do today, instead of worrying about everything that needs to happen in the future. This makes the journey feel lighter and more manageable, and eventually those small steps create the big changes you once believed were impossible. Why is perfection the enemy of progress? Perfection slows you down because it creates pressure to get everything right from the very beginning. When you aim for perfection, you hesitate, you overthink, you delay starting, or you stop when something feels messy or difficult. But real growth is always imperfect. It happens through trial, practice, and adjustment. Every strong skill or habit was once a rough beginning. When you let go of perfection, you give yourself permission to learn. You allow yourself to grow through experience rather than fear. Imperfect action is still action, and it teaches you more than waiting ever will. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be consistent. A small imperfect step repeated over time creates progress, confidence, and understanding. Perfection is heavy, but progress is gentle. When you choose progress, you free yourself from pressure and move toward the person you want to become. How do challenges shape your strength? Challenges shape your strength by revealing parts of yourself that comfort never shows. When everything is easy, there is nothing to build. Strength comes from facing difficulties, understanding them, and moving through them with patience. Challenges help you develop resilience. They teach you that struggle does not mean failure, and discomfort does not mean you are on the wrong path. Instead, these experiences show you what you are capable of when you refuse to give up. Each challenge becomes a lesson in consistency, discipline, and emotional stability. It becomes a reminder that growth requires effort. Over time, the challenges you once feared become proof of your inner strength. They show you that you can handle difficulty without losing your direction, and this confidence stays with you as you continue building the future you want, no matter how complex the journey becomes. Why does building your dream also build you? Building your dream forces you to grow in ways you never expected. The process teaches patience, discipline, courage, and clarity. It teaches you to trust small steps, to handle discomfort, and to follow through even on difficult days. Every part of the journey shapes your character. You become more patient because progress takes time. You become more courageous because challenges require bravery. You become more disciplined because consistency demands commitment. As you build your dream, you develop qualities you never knew you needed. You discover new strengths, new perspectives, and a deeper understanding of yourself. The dream is not only a result you achieve, it is a process that transforms you from the inside out. By the time your dream becomes real, you are no longer the same person who first imagined it. You are stronger, wiser, and more confident in your ability to create a meaningful life. What could you build if you believed in your own power? When you believe in your power to change, you open the door to a life built with intention, clarity, and consistent effort. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and begin acting with purpose. You understand that thoughts become blueprints, actions become bricks, and discipline becomes the structure that holds everything together. A life built through steady effort feels meaningful because you shaped it with your own hands. You learn to trust the process even when progress is slow. You learn to stay focused even when emotions shift. You learn to welcome challenges as signs that you are growing. Over time, your confidence grows as well. You realize that you can think something, work on it, and build it step by step. This belief creates a powerful identity, one that is resilient, intentional, and deeply capable. And with that identity, there is no limit to the life you can create. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss the next lesson. Your support means so much. It keeps this space alive and growing with love. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to continue this journey with you.